Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter at the workbench, cleaning the workbench. So, your workbench should not be a catch-all if, and I say if, it is going to be used as a reference surface when you're hand planing or when you're putting pieces of work together. You want it to be flat. So, earlier today, I washed off the bench with soap and water, dried it, hit it with some alcohol, and I was checking it for flat, and it is not flat anymore. So, there are a lot of ways to flatten it. And there's a lot of ways to test for flatness. If I go across, I can see this is pivoting. And I take my feeler gauge, and I've got 1.5 thousandths there, nothing here. And 1.5 thousandths here. That's telling me it's high in the middle here. Somewhere in here. Move over a little bit, do the same thing. Now, you're probably saying, Walter, why? It's just a workbench. Yeah? And this workbench wasn't my first choice. It sort of came to me in a deal I couldn't turn down. But look at that. That's way high. Starts there. There. So you've seen me plane wood on this bench, right? Plane the board, flip it over on the bench and pivot it. And that would tell me it's hitting here and hitting here. But if my bench is not flat, it's not telling me if this surface is flat. You follow me? So using a known straight edge, I can see it's pivoting there. And there. And there. And naturally, out in the back here, it has no wear because we have all our crud laying on the bench back there. So I have the number 7 finely set just to scooch over at an angle and take some of the high spots off. You can see it's just taking these little wisps off. So if I work in one area where I know it was high, there, and there, and there, and I go across the grain, then when I come in at a 45, see it's riding over the high spots. You ever see machinists when it's hot here today. You ever see machinists when they use a scraper and they scrape a metal surface flat? and they can get it to within tens of thousandths of an inch flat. Well, that's sort of what I'm doing here. I'm just chipping away at it. Now, how far will I take this? Probably going to take the good part of this week to nibble away at it, because, as I mentioned, it's hot here and the humidity is rising. So I'm not going to finalize it until I'm content I've got it flat enough without taking a lot of material off. See, that's the thing too. You just want to get rid of those high spots. Now, what some people do is they make a sanding stick. What did I do? There it is. What they'll do is make a sanding stick. And what that is a straight edge. This is a straight edge too. I just made sure that that was straight. And they'll attach sandpaper all across the bottom of this. And they'll go across and they'll just hit it with the sandpaper. And that'll hit the high spots. So that's another thing, another way to deal with it. Another way to deal with it is the scraping plane. The 12.5. And since this doesn't care too much about grain direction, you can go pretty much any way you want. Now, because this is a workbench top, it's had dirt, wax, oils get on it, and then I put a protective finish on it, which is an oil and a wax, and so it clogs everything up. So that's why I used soap and water. Then I came in with some alcohol, and I may have to do it again with some turpentine or something. So tell me, what do you do for your workbench? Or do you not worry about it? Are you one of those people who simply say, it's a workbench, and that's it? Or are you like me, and every once in a while, you've just got to clean it? Let me know. So that's about it for right now. I'm going to keep at it between using the number 7, maybe the number 6 that I know is dead flat, and the scraper. We'll get this flat. And then we're going to talk about addressing these marks in my workbench, which someone put in there, and that someone wasn't me. Now I did damage the edge here, and maybe someday I will route in new edges on the vise area so that I can grip small pieces. Head out to your workshop. Go check on your bench. See what it might need. This one's getting pretty flat. Not even taking much of a shaving anymore. Walter out.